Hello, everybody, and welcome to our coffee chat from Planet Fair. My name is Henrike von Platen, and I'm going to talk about how are we going to get very, very fast to Planet Fair again with my friend
Margrét Bjarnadóttir.
Wow, so good to see you again after, I don't know, over 50 times now that we've been doing this. And today, I was on the, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Frankfurt on a conference talking about fair pay and fair benefits. And the benefit question is so broad because there are so many kinds of benefits, and are they distributed fairly or not? So it was a really great discussion, which I don't want to open up really on my side because, well, I kept talking about fair pay and had a lot of fun, and I hope everybody had that too. But I know you were on another conference that is sort of, for me, interesting to see your findings because they sort of fit very well to the benefit question. Where were you?
Yeah, thank you, Henrike. Good to be here for the 50th time or over 50 times. That's just crazy. Yes, where was I? I was in New York, actually, in Manhattan, Times Square. It was the conference board's conference on executive pay. So I was there invited to speak about, pay equity, but I sat through the whole conference and I learned a lot about executive pay, which was interesting. Some of it fun, some of it less fun, but all of it very informative. And I thought it might be interesting to take two ideas into this coffee talk. So the two talks that stood out to me with some kind of, food for thought, like we say. The first one was a presentation by two managing directors from F.W. Cook, and they had done a lot of research on executive pay and short-term incentives in particular. And what their research shows is that short-term incentives, so the part of executive pay that is tied to these short-term goals, right? Almost everybody gets 100% of the target or above. So the way, short-term incentives are supposed to work, they're supposed to be, motivation to do better, to meet these goals. But what they show that increasingly, almost everybody is getting 100% of their target or above. So one of the, so it's almost becoming fixed pay. So what they showed, for example, is that the 25th percentile, so if they take everybody's CEO, so they were studying CEO pay. So they took everybody's CEO pay and then they studied, okay, how much of their target did they meet? And if they then order that and look at the 25th percentile, they found that the 25th percentile was at 121% of target, meaning, 75% of all CEOs were, exceeding their target by at least 20%. And if they looked at the median is at 150% of their target. So this has, this whole idea of, meeting the target and then you get rewarded, it isn't happening. So I just thought that was...
Did they actually say something about resetting targets?
No, the conversation, and I think that was a question from the audience, the conversation was really, with all the legal complications around incentive pays for executives, should this then just become part of base pay, right?
Yep.
So that was that conversation, and I just thought it was super interesting, and they had done good. There was a lot of graphs with a lot of numbers, so I appreciated that.
I like that because I think it's something that most of the people that we talk to feel like that as well. They think it's exactly like you just said. So it's good to have the numbers out there that it's actually like that, and that you could think about, okay, why don't we just get rid of the system, or some get rid of bonus system or target system in that way already, and maybe that's the right reason to do it as well. So I do like the development, because how do you keep it fair if just everybody gets it? I mean, then it might be fair if everybody gets a bonus because the company is doing good, and then it's spread evenly, but this one might not be. So yeah, I like that. But I know you said you had a second good one as well.
Yes, and it's related to what you were just saying. So I think the most interesting conversation or presentation there actually came from AT&T. and it was about how they got away from their bonus system. So they have scratched their bonus system for something that they call connection awards. So what is a connection award? It recognizes employees across the organization when they go above and beyond. And these are, in using their words, these are not token awards. So these are not small awards. These are 5 to 10% of your total cash compensation. So these are meaningful awards. And what they have done is that, so everybody can get these anytime awards or connection awards. It needs to be for going above and beyond, and anyone can nominate anyone that reports to them. So it's anytime, multiple awards. And what is interesting is that these are not tied to corporate measures, right? So not like the executive pay short-term incentives that we just talked about, but they are actually tied to the cultural pillars of AT&T. And for example, I made notes. What they use as their corporate pillars is serve customers first, move faster, act boldly, and win as one. So if anyone is acting and exceeding and it can be linked to that pillars, they can be nominated for these awards. And most importantly, they are, they happen at any time. So it's not waiting a whole year to then have a performance review and then recognize something that happened last year. These are really implemented fast. So basically monthly. And so people get recognized for a job well done at that particular time. So I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, that's good. And they will probably look at it on the long run, how it's sort of spread, and if they see some kind of a bias in only nominating a certain kind of person, type, character, whatever.
Yeah.
And
so that was actually the first question they were asked, right? So what about because everybody, now everybody has been empowered to hand out these awards. So will we see some unconscious biases in how these things are rewarded? And the answer was actually no. So they monitored it. So they didn't actively, mandate anything, but they actively monitored who were getting these prizes, and they saw no bias. So from the gender perspective, actually, there were a little bit more women getting this award proportionally compared to men. So they didn't have to take any action, but they were definitely on top of it and monitoring it. But yeah, good for them that there was no, we didn't see any bias.
System. And the best part about it, I think, what I like a lot as well, is what you said, that it connects to the cultural pillars. So you're not doing any target or anything special good, but you're really living the culture of your company inside the project and the work that you're doing, and that is somehow rewarded. And that sounds to me like it could happen on any level where you are. You don't have to be like C-level to get that top target bonus. You can be anywhere doing anything if it sort of exceeds. And that's really great. That sounds quite fair, I would say. And with that, I'm looking at my time. I must say we are over time, just a few seconds, but do you want to add something, or are we?
No, I think I made the main points. I thought this was a very interesting change in how employees are rewarded. So hopefully some food for thoughts to our listeners.
Hopefully, I do hope so. Maybe some tell us what they think about it.
Yes.
Let's look forward to that. Have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.
You too. Bye.